Hello. Am I live? Hi guys. Hello. Let me check. Am I audible? Just comment yes, no. Hello. Just let me know if I'm audible so that we can proceed, and I'll introduce myself first. Okay. Hi Vansh. Hi Aditya. So, I was also an aspirant like you last year. I thought of doing MBA, and myself, Kavya Kumar, I haven't told my name. Yeah, so I secured 99.98 percentile in quants, and quants and LRDI are two of the major strengths for me. And I believe being with me, I'll make you go into a great journey and gather some great insights for how to approach quants, how to approach LRDI, and how to solve questions. What tricks can you use to save time, and what tricks can you use to be a 99 percentiler, not just use the tricks and stuff. I want you to understand the concepts first. So this is my first class in grad school and in my teaching journey as well. Yeah. So we'll today what we'll do is we'll understand about data representation. Like what is data representation? So let's start. Or you guys have any questions for me, you can just ask me in between as well, or at the end, whenever you feel like, you can interrupt me. I'll be more happy to answer you guys, be it any kind of doubts or anything. Last check, is my video, is my audio, everything okay? Aditya and Vansh, whosoever is there in the class. Can you please let me know so that we can proceed? All good. Okay. So let's start with the class. Today we'll basically cover about data representation. We'll understand what is data representation and stuffs. So let's begin. Just give me a couple of seconds. Yeah. So let's begin. So what is data? Like, how do you interpret data? If I say, if I ask you guys, what is the temperature right now? How hot it is? What would you say? Some might say it is very hot. Some might say it is 35 degrees Celsius. There are different ways of interpreting the question. There are different ways of interpreting, giving the answers for the interpreted questions. So what I'll say is both the things are correct. Yeah. So let's begin. So what is a data? Data basically is collection of various things like facts, figures, and whatever you observe in your surrounding. Uh, be it any numerical value, be it any logical thing, or anything, whatever you see is a data. Data, it can be of two types, as mentioned here. I'll just change the color. Let me check. Okay, no worries. I'll check it later on. So data are of two types: qualitative and quantitative. So what is a qualitative data? Qualitative data can be explained as the descriptive data. Like I asked you the question, how hot it is right now. So you could say it is very hot. You could say it's very humid, or so on, etc, etc. The other way of telling the answer was 35 degrees Celsius or 15 degrees Celsius in form of numbers, in form of numericals, or whatsoever. So this type of data, this is known as qualitative data, and this type of data is known as quantitative data. So what basic understanding you got from this slide or my explanation is, I'll just mention it here. You can say what is a data? It is raw facts. And data is something which helps you understand the information and makes you like what we can say is give decisions on at that particular point of time. So I believe this is clear till here. If any doubts or something, please let me know. Waiting for your reply so that we can move ahead. Aditya, Gaurav, and guys, Vansh. All clear or any doubt? Just wanted you to know what is a data and how to interpret it, what kinds of data you'll be getting going forward. Okay, I guess whiteboard writing is small. Okay, we'll look into it. We'll for sure write it bigger the next time. Yeah. So moving forward, types of data I already explained you. Now let comes to data representation. Okay. When data is small, we can read it. When data is large, we must represent it by some form of table, some form of graphs or something. So when data is large, we can represent them by use of tables, line graphs, bar charts, pie charts. So key point here will be good representation makes data easy to understand, and good representation here I mean we can represent data in form of tables, line graphs, bar charts, pie charts. Also what I would say is these are not just they are not just four ways, there are many other ways, like you have scatter plots, bubble plots, and many more, but these are the major ones to make you understand how to represent data and how to interpret them going forward. When you go and understand all kind of sets, what kind of sets are there, you'll see various kind of plots. But once the concept for tables, line graphs, bar charts, pie charts, these are clear, what you can understand after that is key, these will make you a foundation for you to understand those kind of graphs. So not deep diving into anything, we'll go one by one in tables, line graphs, bar graphs, and pie chart, and we'll understand what each one is separately. No worry, no worry. Ojus Varastuji. Okay. How to pronounce your name, man? I'm not able to pronounce it. So here I've mentioned what table is basically, what line graph is, what bar chart is, and what pie chart is. So what table can be? It can be said as best for precise values and raw data comparisons. What line graphs can be told as ideal for tracking continuous trends over time. Bar charts can be said as comparing discrete categories visually. I'm just reading it out for you. I'll explain them in slides properly. So that would be a good area for you to understand how these things are. Pie charts are basically showing proportion of a single hole. Just forget whatever told you. I just read it out for you guys. I'll just explain each one of them separately. Let's move forward. So what is a table? I'm not talking about the tables 1 into 1 equals to 1. Not these tables. Okay. I'm talking about some tables where we have columns, rows, etc. Something of this sort. This is a table, right? So I'm talking about these things. So what are rows? What are columns? And what are the how data is stored in this? We'll just discuss about that. Just a minute, I'll just clear this. Yeah. So this is a table. Let me call this thing A and this thing as B. So you guys are aware about what is a horizontal line and what is a vertical line, right? If not, then I'll explain you. So this is the horizontal line in this manner, okay? And this will be a vertical line. मतलब नीचे से ऊपर, left से right या right से left, left से right या right से left will be horizontal. Up to bottom, bottom to top, this will be vertical. Okay. So if you are clear about horizontal lines and the vertical lines, what next? So we have rows. Aditya, is my writing visible? I guess it should be. So rows are horizontal lines. Okay, I'll not write everything. What are columns? These are vertical lines. If you are clear with these two these two terms, basically, you can understand tables very easily. You can interpret data from the tables very easily. You can fill in the data in the tables very easily, because there might be question going forward like, are you able to, like, not are you able to, you have to fill some data, missing data is in the table, you have to interpret some bar graphs and make a table, and then interpret and do the questions, and so on. There can be variety of questions you'll come to know going forward. So these are the two major things you should be well aware of. And we also have captions. These are title or footers of the table. I don't think you should deep dive into this thing. Better is just understand what I told you. This is just for the sake that you should be knowing there's something called as caption. uh, Title is basically the above title which is written in the table. Like, this is, you must have seen an Excel sheet, there's something written as exam I've made. Okay, then I have a table here. Then at bottom some promotion is done, or some logo is there, or something is there, that is a footer. फुटर मतलब एक कंपनी के साइट पे जाओगे तो जो सबसे नीचे होता है उसको फुटर कहते हैं. इससे यू कैन रिलेट व्हाट इज अ फुटर. कूल. सो आई गेस टेबल शुड बी क्लियर फॉर एवरीवन नाउ. But if you have any question, I'll give you around 1 minute. Just look into the slide once. If you have any doubt, come back to me, or else we'll move forward. I'll just wait. Any doubts for anyone? Okay, cool. So next is line graphs. Line graphs. What do you mean by line graphs? Not asking you guys. what's the first thing what will strike your mind when you'll think of line graphs? There are two words, line and graphs. Don't look into this word right now, okay? Don't look into this word. Just think what is a line and what is a graph. Cool? What is a line? Line is something which has no endpoints. We can make it to infinity on both the sides. And line segment, what is a line segment? As we are already talking of line, so I thought let me tell you guys about line segment as well. What is a line segment? Which has two endpoints. What is a ray? Which has one endpoint and other side it can go till infinity. Better not to make like this. So this is a line. This is a line segment. This is just for concept purpose. This is nothing related to line graph. This is array. Cool. So what do you mean by line? Line मतलब कि इधर से एक साइड से दूसरे साइड जा रहा है. Graph is something. What do you understand by a graph? Anyone? Waiting. If someone can tell me what do you understand by graphs, or else I'll explain. No worries. I just want to see your answers. What do you interpret? How it is helpful? Okay, bro. I'll explain you how it is helpful after line graphs. Can anyone answer, please? Okay, no worries. I think I'll explain you what is a graph. Just a minute, I'll explain. So graphs are basically something which represent data in different forms. क्योंकि हम already data तो मैंने तुम्हें बता ही दिया what is a data, okay? So now what is a graph when we represent it in form of data? So this picture you can see, or not this. Okay, no worries. Graph is something which shows data using lines or shapes or make comparisons and trends easy to understand. What do you understand by this? Is we compare values easily through graphs. We can observe if there is an increase or decrease in the values. Like here you can see there's an increase in value in this part. And in this part, can you see there's a decrease in value? Here increase in value. So this is basically a graph wherein we can compare between two datas easily. Okay, so line graph is yeah, correct. Just we are correct. It is a representation of data. So a line graph, we can compare datas or represent datas with the help of lines. This is known as line graph. Basic definition, okay? I'll just erase everything. Yeah. Let me increase the thickness also. Yes. Now correct. Now you understood what is a line graph. Line, graph, two different words which combine and form a single word which is the line graph, wherein we compare data through lines. Now if I have some data here which is 10, I have some data here which is 40, I have some data here which is 50, or just forget this. There's a data, first 10, then 40, then 50, then the data becomes again 10. Jump, jump, decrease. Here increment is done, here increment is done, here decrement got done. So we how to represent this data, because this is something complicated. We can represent it via line graph. First the data was 10. First step, here data was 10. Second step, so this is x-axis, this is y-axis. Okay, so what is x-axis, what is y-axis, you don't have to worry right now. Just wait for some time. Once you'll deep dive into some concepts of graphs, you'll understand what it is. So at first the data, here it is 10, then the data becomes 40, then next the data became 50, then, oh sorry, data here became 50, then the data became 10 again. So what happened is, let's construct a graph. Okay, now let's join this 10 and 40. We have joined. So ये दोनों के बीच का जो graph है, that we have drawn already. Now next step is drawing the graph of this step to this step. This I have called as first step, this I have called as second, this third, and this is as fourth step. This I have mentioned in x-axis and the values in y-axis. Okay. Now going forward, from second step to third step, it was 40 to 50. 40 to 50. Now from 50 to 10, fourth step. Now what are the things you should look into a line graph while making a line graph? One is slope. What is a slope? Slope is basically, you can say, you know, a mountain, climbing a mountain. You have some slopes, up slope, down slope. You must be driving, and someone might have said that the slope is too high, you can't drive that easily, or the slope is too steep, or something like that. Similar concept is there of slope in this in line graphs as well. So how to understand slopes are, let me erase this. There's something called I've made this line, I've made one line this, and I've made one line this. Every line looks different. No similarities there in any of these three lines. So just think, I'm driving from here, I'm driving from here, I'm driving from here, and I move towards this cliff, I move towards this cliff, and I move towards this cliff. I have to drive at different pace, different kind of speed for each slope. So that's what a slope is. Slope कुछ नहीं है, एक बेसिकली जो x एक्सिस और y एक्सिस के बीच में हम जो लाइन ड्रॉ कर रहे हैं ना, इस चीज़ को हम एज अ स्लोप एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं. बेटर एग्जांपल आई विल गिव यू. How to, let me erase this. Okay, I'll explain it here. Okay, so let me say this is one line. So this will tell me how fast or how rapidly or at what pace my values are changing or my data is changing. So what was happening? It was going from 10 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 10. Cool. So once these values are moving, so it will tell me how rapidly these values are changing in my line. So once the value went from 10 to 40, there's change of 30. One value went from 40 to 50, the change is 10. This is plus 30, this is plus 10. Here the change is minus 40. Cool. So this will tell me basically I am writing it down and then I explain it properly. So it is telling me basically, basic definition is slope shows at what rate or at what pace one value increases or decreases, or how it changes, what kind of change takes place of that particular line. Okay, so this is one line, this is one line. So all the lines will have different kind of pace, different kind of rate. So how to represent this slope is, I told you, right? This is y-axis, this is x-axis. What is a slope? Change in y upon change in x. Okay, so this is slope. Any doubts? Uh, Sorry guys, this is my first class. I'm not able to explain at that like like that properly, but I think you might have got the concept. If any doubt, you can ask me. Waiting. Okay, let me change this. Let's go to line graph. Yeah. Any doubt for anyone? Okay, cool. So we are done with line graphs. Just if you want, I'll read out the things and explain it to you. It's the same thing which I explained. Visualizing data points connected by lines to reveal slopes, peaks, and throws. So don't go on any word. Don't go even on slope. Just understand what I told. So you got one way around, right? How to make line graphs from the data given. Now, if I give you a line graph, can you write down a data for me? If I've given you this, can you write down this for me? Can you do that? Waiting for your replies. Yes, no, anyone? Or you want me to do it for you? I'll do it that also. So this is my graph. It's okay if you can do, I'll also do it for you so that it's clear. You don't have any doubts in your mind. So what is the value at first? This is my first, this is my second, this is my third, this is my fourth. What is the value at first? It is 10. What is the value at second? This is 40. I'll write down everything, then I'll make you interpret how to interpret it from the graphs. See, this thing, can you see? At first it is 10. So what we did, we wrote first and the value corresponding to it. Then we have second. We have 40 as the value for second. We have wrote second and corresponding value for it. Then we have third. We wrote 50, which is third and the corresponding value for that. Got it? Clear? Then we have fourth. The corresponding value for 4 is 10. So this is how you interpret the data through a line graph. I guess this is clear. If you can interpret data from tables. Line graphs. Can you do this? If I give you a simple table, can you tell me what that table is telling me? Can you tell me what a line graph is telling me if I give you any line graph? If you are able to do this, you are good to go. Yes, no, please reply. I'll wait for 1 minute for your replies so that I can move ahead. Okay, moving ahead then. Then we have bar graphs or bar charts, whatever you can call it. So bar graph is comparison of two values in form of chart. So what is there in this product A and product B? We have two products. Just imagine we have two products and we have some sale percentage of both the products. The first product sale was 85%. The second product sale was 60%. Or better example I can give you, first product income was 80%, 85%, second product income was 60%. Okay. So what we did in this and what we did in this, we understood that out of, let's say they sold, both of them sold 1,000 products, and out of 1,000 products 85% okay, let me reform the question. Okay, wait, I'll reform everything and I'll start from scratch. So for product A and for product B, we have, let's say, 1,000 product, and product A 85% sale of it, product A was done, and 60% sale of product B was done. So what we understood from this is 85% of 1,000 sale of product A is done, and 60% of 1,000 products sale of B is done. So this is something how you interpret bar charts. So what we did in this, we interpreted this product A, we interpreted product B, we wrote down the corresponding values, and then we'll solve this, we'll get some numerical values. So that's not a sort of like thinking right now. You just have to think how to interpret the graphs, how to interpret the charts, and write it down for you. So if this is clear, what I'll tell you next is there's something called as percentage increase. So let's say, okay, example is given. If production goes from 50 to 70, let's say if the sale for one of the product goes from 50 to 70. So earlier it was 50, now it is 70. So what has happened? There's a change of 20, 70 minus 20, 70 minus 50, sorry. There's change of 20. So there's change of 20 out of 50. Earlier, what was the value? 50 into 100. So this is how we can calculate percentage change. I know you might have not understood. So again, I'll explain how to calculate the percentage change. So what has happened? पहले वैल्यू 50 थी, ओके, फिर वैल्यू 70 हो गई, तो वैल्यू बढ़ी है, तो चेंज कितने का आया? 20 का आया, और पहले क्या वैल्यू थी? वैल्यू 50 थी, तो दिस बिकम्स 20/50. ओके, वाई 20/50? क्योंकि चेंज हमें क्या करना है, मान के चलो व्हाट हैपेंड फॉर यू इज, तुमने एक पेंसिल खरीदा, फिर तुमने 2 पेंसिल और खरीदे. व्हाट इज़ द परसेंटेज इंक्रीज? तुमने कितने ज़्यादा पेंसिल खरीदे? 2 ज़्यादा पेंसिल खरीद ली अब, तो कितने ज़्यादा परसेंटेज इंक्रीज हुआ है? या वैसे मानो यू बॉट 100 pencils earlier, now you bought 300 pencils. So what is the percentage change? If ऐसे भी नहीं समझ आ रहा तो let me think of one more thing. So what you can do is, let me erase this. Okay, this is done now. This you have understood. I'll clear this thing. So what percentage change shows basically is how much a quantity changes relative to the original value. Yeah, this is the best way to explain. So my earlier value was 50. Now value became 70. So how much change is done with relation with the original value? So what was my original value? 50. So 50, and what is the change? 20. So this is my change. Now percentage change I have to calculate 20 upon 50 into 100. So this will be, let's say, something. That's not of that you shouldn't be thinking right now, because calculation and everything will come later. Okay, you just have to interpret, you just have to understand what is percentage change and how it is done and what it is done. So if this is clear, I'm going forward. I'm giving you 30 seconds to look into this. For this, I'll tell you, this is the important part. New value minus old value, which is the change. This is the major thing. Old value, percentage change. Here everything is done in relative to old value only. Okay, let's move forward. So let's go to the pie chart. Let's say you have a pizza. Okay, now I divide this pizza in 4 equal parts. Don't go on my drawing. It's like I've divided it into 4 equal parts. So this is 1 by 4th part. 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 Also, you must be knowing one more concept, which is this is 100%. So 1 by 4 is how much? 1 by 4 is how much? 1 by 4 is 25%. Because if 1 is 100% and 1 by 2 becomes 50%, क्योंकि एक पूरा 100% है, उसका आधा अगर हम कर देंगे, that will be 100% का आधा और 100% का half, which is 50%. Then if I do 1 by 4 of that 100%, which is 100 by 4, 100 by 4. Okay, so this will be 25%. Clear? So this is how we interpret a what we say, pie chart. Now I'll explain you how to do this, what to do. Let's say we have a pie chart and we have something of this sort. This is 40%. This is 40%. This is just an example, okay, how much it became? 20%. Every time one full circle will be called as 100%. Okay, so let's see if it is verifying my this case that it is 100% or not. 40% plus 40% plus 20% is 100%. Correct? 40 plus 40 is 80. 80 plus 20 is 100. I guess this is clear. If this is clear, let's move forward. So let me say there were 500 people. 40% were A, 20% were B, 40% was C. Okay, this is my question, or this is my data given. How to interpret this? So what it is saying is 40% of the total. 40% of the total is A. 40% of the total is A. So let's say, so here what it will be, A is equal to 40% of 500. Cool. B is 20% of 500. C is again 40% of 500. If these three things are clear for you, you can understand what a pie chart is wanting you to say. Again, I'll repeat how we have interpreted this. We have 40% of a 40% of something, which is for 500. 40% of something is 500. again, let me say it again in a different manner. Total number of things were 500, or total number of students were 500, or total number of people were 500, out of which 40% of them belongs to A. 40% of them belongs to A. मतलब एक मेरे पास पिज़्ज़ा का स्लाइस है, उसमें से हम 4 लोग खा रहे हैं, एंड 1/4 स्लाइस सबके लिए है. तो हाउ मच परसेंट सबके लिए? 25% सबके लिए. सिमिलरली यहाँ पे मैंने बोला 40% of a pizza slice is for me, 20% is for someone else, 40% is for someone else. So this is how we'll interpret this. If this is clear, there's one more thing in pie chart. We'll go into that. There's something called as degree. Okay, just a minute. Yeah. So, okay, just a minute, wait. This is my pie chart. Now, instead of calling it in form of percentage, let's call it in degree. You have a clock, right? So, how much degree does a clock has? Basic question, which is 360 degree. A clock has 360 degree, and half of the clock, how much will it have? Just half of 360, which is 180. So 360 ka half is 180. This is for half of the clock. Cool. This is just for conceptual purpose, क्योंकि अगर if I say this is a pizza, this is a clock, both are in form of circles. Here this is how much? 360 degree. This is how much? 100%. Now that, let me break it into easier manner. I told you if I divide a pizza into 4 equal parts, it will be 25%. This is 25%. This is again 25%, 25%, 25%. Now what I'm doing it, let me say, let me change my color first. Let me consider this semicircle, this part. This semicircle, okay? Let me consider this. So this is how much? We can call it 50% also. We can call it 180 degree also. I told you this, half of a clock is 180 degree and half of a pizza is 50%. So we can say, right, where to write? Yeah, here. 50% is 180 degree. Now let me divide this also in half. Let me change my color again. Now I have this. This is how much? 25%. This is also called 90 degree. Why? Half iska आधा और इसका आधा. Half of 50% and half of 180 degree. So this becomes 90 degree. This becomes 25%. So we can say 25% as 90 degree. So what is happening here? In simple words, what we are doing is, let me erase something. Yeah, let me erase this. Sorry. Yeah, so what we are doing here is, we are representing percentage in form of degree. Why I'm explaining you this is because sometimes you might get a pie chart in CAT. We have got in CAT as well. So in PYQs, there's a question wherein there were values given in form of degrees, something like this. We have this was 75 degree. How to interpret this or how to solve this? You should be knowing the concept behind it. I can make you understand the formula, what is this, but I want you guys to know what exactly is the concept behind that. So how much percentage is how much degree? That is the basic question. 100% was 360 degree. 50% was 180 degree. 25% was 90 degree. From here, what we can do is, let me clear something else now. Let me clear this. Yeah, this thing. From this, what we can understand is, 1% is how much? 360 degree upon 100%. So 50% from here becomes 360 upon 100 into 50. So what we did is we took this thing, 100% was 360 degree. So 1% will be 360 degree upon 100, normal multiplication division. Now if we multiply 50 in this part, 50 will be multiplied in this part. So this will become 180 degree. This is the same thing. So this is the concept how you interpret degrees and percentages. So now going forward we have concept. Let me erase all this which is not required. Okay, this was required. So let me go forward this thing. What is the formula given? Angle upon 360 degree into total value. Forget about this right now. Angle upon 360 degree. Something relatable which I told you right now. If not, let me tell you. This is 90 degree. This is 90 degree. Okay, let me change the color. Not this, something else is this. So how much is it? 90 degree by 360 degree. This is one, we can also say this is 1/4 part, this is 1/4 part, this is 1/4 part, and this is 1/4 part. So how to calculate the values? I'll tell you. 90 degree upon total angle. So ये 90 टोटल का कितना पार्ट है? एक सर्कल है या एक पिज्ज़ा है, उसका 1/4 पार्ट कितना पार्ट, मतलब उसका जो 90 डिग्री वाला पार्ट है दैट इज़ हाउ मच पार्ट ऑफ द होल पिज़्ज़ा. सो 90 डिग्री अपॉन 360 डिग्री इज 1/4. 1/4 टोटल वैल्यू इसकी मान लेते हैं कुछ 500. 1/4 ऑफ 500. So 500 divided by 4 is how much? 125. So this is 125. So this is how you interpret a pie chart. Okay, so this we call as the 360 degree circle. You can, like, don't by heart anything, just go conceptually, concept wise, because you have CAT in November, बहुत time है. Just build your concepts and I can guarantee everything will be good. Then we have DI tools, fractions and percentages. So this I think ALP sir has already covered for you guys. Like what is this, how to calculate and whatsoever. I'm not sure what all he has told you, but for now you can look into these values. And what I'll say is, going forward, I'm gonna take percentages for you. So I'll make it look easier and in a way that you don't have to memorize anything. You'll just understand what are these percentages and how to interpret 1/12 or 1/5 and whatsoever going forward and stuffs. Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, so we have basic pie chart example. Just one second. Huh? Yeah, so we have basic pie chart example. So this is a pie chart. Let me change color. So this is for engineering. I'll write E. This is for arts. This is A. This is for commerce C. This is for science. What they are telling is there are 2000 college students. मतलब कि जो 100% है, 100% value is 2000. Okay. Now we have engineering. This is 40%. Then we have arts. This is 30%. Then we have commerce 20%. Science 10%. So what is 40%? Okay. Yeah. So what is 40%? It is engineering student. What is 30%? It is art student. What is 20%? This is commerce student. And what is 10%? This is science students. If this is clear, let's go forward. So अब हमें क्या करना होगा? Values calculate करनी है for each one of them. So let me make one table. So what we do is whenever we interpret a pie chart, interpret a bar chart or a line chart, we make it in form of table because uh, solving questions via table is the easiest way. So what to do, what exactly is how to draw a table for pie chart, I'll let you know right now. We have one more question for bar graph. Yeah, for bar graph also I'll let you know, and for line graphs, scatter plots, we'll have different questions going forward, so you'll understand how to like make tables for them. My main agenda for today or right now or for the particular moment was this only, that you have to understand how to interpret the graphs, how to understand what kind of data is in it, is there present in that, what kind of values we can come to know about from that. So let me make the table for this. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, so I'll write down this thing here. 100% was 2000. Okay, I'll make one table at this place. Engineering. Okay, not like this. Engineering. Then we have arts. We have commerce. We have science. Okay. Table थोड़ा ज़्यादा बड़ा बन गया. Let me make it small only. So number. How to find out the number, the next step going forward in a pie chart. This is 40% of what? We know that 100% is 2000, so 40% will be how much? So let's say from this we also know that 1% is 2000 divided by 100. This is how much? This is 20. Now 40% is how much? 40% is 20 into 40. This is 800. 800, correct? Now what is 30%? 30% is 20 into 30, which is 600. 600. So let me write down the values here. 800, 600. This is how you interpret the data, how you make the tables. So you have made it from here. Now next is for commerce. Commerce is 20%. 20% is how much? So 20% becomes 20 into 20, which is 400. This is 400. Now for science, how much we had? 10%. 10%. 10% is how much? So 10% becomes 20 into 10, which is 200. So this is 200. Now my next part will be checking whether the data which I wrote is correct or not. How to do that? We have these numerical values. We have the final total number of college students. Let me check if the sum of all these values is equal to 2000 or not. So I'm checking 800 plus 600 plus 400 plus 200. So 800 plus 600 is 1400. 1400 plus 400 plus 200. This is 1800 plus 200. This is 2000, correct? So this value and this value both are equal. Hence the data which we found was correct. Now let's solve the question. What was the question? Question says how many more in English engineering than in science. So in engineering, how much we have? Don't look at anything. Let me erase everything for you now. I'll just keep the table. I'll erase this also so that you don't have to look here and there. How to solve the question via table, I'll explain you that also right now. We have this. Now the question says how many more in English engineering than in science. So in engineering we had 800. In science we had 200. So question is valid. क्वेश्चन को हिंदी में इंटरप्रेट करेंगे तो वो ये कह रहा है कि इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट्स कितने ज़्यादा थे साइंस स्टूडेंट्स से, करेक्ट? सो ये क्वेश्चन वैलिड है कि नहीं, पहला स्टेप वो देखना है. क्वेश्चन वैलिड है क्योंकि इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट्स ऑलरेडी साइंस से ज़्यादा हैं, हमने न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू से निकाल लिया, अब कितने ज़्यादा है. सो व्हाट इज़ द गैप बिटवीन दीज टू? Gap is 600. Correct? So once you have found out the gap, that is the answer. Got it? This is the very basic kind of question or basic level of question for now. You'll have some complicated question, but don't think of anything. अभी तुम्हारा काम इतना होना चाहिए कि तुम एक पाई चार्ट
6 p.m.
Okay, 6 p.m. So for now, your work should be whether you are able to understand what is a pie chart, what is a bar chart, what is a line chart, and stuffs. If you are able to do these things right now, you can expect yourself to be one step ahead. क्योंकि हम cat के लिए we move on stairs, and you cannot directly jump and go on terrace, right? You have to walk on the stairs. So you are going to walk on stairs and reach the terrace, which is your cat. Okay, so this is your first step. If you are able to understand this, then we will move to the second step going forward. So what we are going to do in going forward, before that telling that, we have one more question on bar graph. So this is the other question on bar graph for 2021. What was the, okay, what is it? Okay, 2022 and 2023, we have data for 3 years, and we have data in form of wheat production. How much wheat was produced in all of the 3 years? Okay, so let me make table for this, and how to interpret a table for this. Just give me 2 seconds break. I'll just drink water. Yeah, so let's begin. In 2021, we had 50 tons of wheat production, which is given. The data is given 50 tons of wheat production. In 2022, we had 70 tons of wheat production. In 2023, we had 60 tons of wheat production. I made you understand how to interpret a bar graph and how to move ahead. Now I'll make you understand how to make a table. If you don't understand, it's okay, completely fine. Don't worry on that. If you understand, don't like be overjoyed or something that I understood something good, because there's a big journey ahead. You have to practice. As much as you practice things, like as much as you understand things conceptually, it will be better. So for now, what I'll say is, look into this video. Whatever I told you, whatever I explained it to you, just interpret that properly. Understand how to go into the graphs, understand those graphs, make a table for that, or understand the data given out of that graph, and move forward. So let's focus on this question. We are getting a bit distracted. Yeah. So for 2021, it was 50, 22, it was 70, 23, it was 60. Let's make a table. So what I'll do in this table is, I'll write down both the things. One is year and one is production. Okay. Year is 2021, 2022 and 2023. 23. So how much wheat is produced in 2021? 50 tons. How much wheat is produced in 2022? 70 tons and 60 tons. How we wrote this? Through the data given. 2022 70, 2021 50, 2023 60. Now the other way of giving this question can be of this manner. Okay, wait, I'll make it properly. This won't be clear for you. This is 50, this is 70, this is 60. This is 2021, this is 2022, this is 2023. This is a rough graph which I made. So it will be given properly so that you understand the values properly. Now I'll write down the values from a different color so that it's easy to read. This is 50, this is 60, this is 70. So this is the other way of writing this question, giving this question, or making you make a table, or making you interpret the data from a bar graph, or making a bar graph in a different manner. Okay, who is calling? Okay. Yeah. So you understood how to make this bar graph in form of a table. Now अब तुम इसको अच्छे से read कर सकते हो. Now you can read it properly. Okay. So once this table is made, I prefer if you make things easier for yourself. Give 10 seconds extra, give 10 seconds extra, 15 seconds extra, and make things easier for you, so that you are able to do questions properly, and your accuracy is at a much higher level. Because what I'll say is, it's all about concepts, accuracy, and practice. These things will make you go crazy in like cat or any mats or whatsoever you're planning to give. So now, what is this? Okay, analysis. We have to analyze it. So what we can analyze from this table is, in 2022 the production was the highest, which is 70. In 2022 the production was highest. The production dropped by 10 tons in 2023. It was 70, this was 60. So what is the difference? 10 tons. It decreased. So that's what it's written. And again, from 21 to 22 the production increased by 30 tons. 20 tons, my bad. From 50 to 70. Okay, so this is how you can interpret a graph. These are the 4 basic graphs. Again, I'll tell you: tables, line graphs, bar charts or bar graphs, and pie chart. If you understand how to read the data, if you understand how to make tables, make graphs, make pie charts or whatsoever, your life becomes, for the set LRDI sets, some like these graphs fall apart, it becomes very, very easy. So what we are gonna cover going forward is, there are 2 kind of tools. There are 2 kind of things we'll look forward. So right now I made you understand the basics. So going forward we'll have DI tools 2, DI tools 3. So for this, what we have is, like, what the next step will be: squaring, cubing, and multiplying. Okay, this is DI tool. So sorry, my bad. Yeah, so for the DI tools which will help you go forward and learn things or understand things are the DI tools 2, DI tools 3. The DI tool 1 is, which I made you understand. Okay, how to interpret. Now the other thing is calculation hacks. This will save your time. As you already know, we have 40 minutes only. Only 40 minutes are there for LRDI. This thing will save your time. If you know how to solve questions at fast, or if someone asks you what is 1 by 5, you should be knowing it is 20% of something. Okay, if someone asks you what is 1 by 4, you should be knowing it is 25% of something. So these are some of the things which should be going in your mind. Now other thing is advanced ratio and average concepts applied in multiple graph subsets. So for ratios and average and these things, it will be covered in quants in arithmetic. These are some very easy things for you, like, understand and what to say, to grasp or make you and feel like, yeah, this is what can make the DI sets get solved easily. The ratio, एक चीज़ और मैं बताऊंगा, ratios. This is the important part of arithmetic. If you understand percentages, ratio, these 2, you will be able to do various type of questions easily. There are some kind of easy methods to do, some tricks to do. I'll make sure that I'll just check if I'll be able to take those classes. If I can, surely I'll take them. If I'll not be able to take, I'll surely do one class and make you understand what are the tricks for this. Okay, so what can be the speed and accuracy, like how to approach the sets and how to understand, and what mistakes you should not do going forward. You should read the title first. Read the title as in, what is the question asking? You should understand the units properly. There might be something given in kilometer, there might be something given in meter. तो ये चीज़ें तुम्हें ध्यान रखनी है, क्योंकि 1 किलोमीटर इज़ 1000 मीटर. योर all the things will be like changed if you change the answers and all. Yeah, answers I'm saying, if you change the units and everything. Give me 1 minute. वो चार्जर लगाना था एक्चुअली. या back to where we were. Yeah, units. So units are the first thing you should be looking into very carefully, very carefully. I made you understand that this is x-axis, this is y-axis. In some question it might be given that this is y-axis and this is x-axis. You should also look into the axes properly, or the labels. What are labels, what are axes? Basically जो तुम्हें दिया हुआ है ना टेबल में, उसको तुम एज फॉर्म ऑफ टेबल या एज फॉर्म ऑफ डेटा कितने अच्छे से इंटरप्रेट कर पा रहे हो, दैट यू शुड बी डूइंग प्रॉपरली. तुम अगर उस डेटा को, इफ़ आई से दिस इज माई पेंसिल in vertical form, can I say this is also vertical form? No na, this is horizontal form. So everything has a described name and everything. So next thing is use shortcut to for heavy calculation. Shortcuts and all that tricky calculations, there are some concepts also you for, and also from practice you'll get it. So what I believe is practice is the major part for calculation. If the more and more questions you'll do, the more and more practice you'll get, the better your calculation will become. So everything is practice and consistency. Yeah. So next is approximation is the best friend in competitive exam. Approximation as in, if I give you let's say 100 by 3, this is how much? 34% nearby, or you can say 32% also, or something in between 32 and 34, something in between this, because 3 times of this is 96, 3 times of this is how much? 102. So 100% lies between these both. What is 33% now? 99%. Again, more better between 33% and 34%. So the value lies somewhere between this. The value, exact value is 33.333, so on. So if you want to approximate the data, right, what you can do is you can take 33%, because this is more nearby to 100%, because the 34% will become 102% when multiplied by 3. So this will become 102%. This is how much? What to say? This 99%, 33% is 99%. So this is more nearer. So approximation values will be helpful, because कभी कभी क्या होता है, options are so distinct that approximation will help you get the answer easily. Okay. So the last slide for the day, and we'll wrap up. So how to understand what you have understood. I don't want to go into the slide much. You just have to go step by step, like interpret the graph and everything first, and after you have interpreted, write down everything properly in form of table or in form of whatsoever is good for you. But personally I'll recommend write it down in a table. That becomes easy to interpret as well, that becomes easy to understand as well. So once that is done, you can move forward and you can understand things properly. So once that is done, you calculate the answer, but do cross check each and every answer. If you are good to go with this, I'm sure that for now these things are covered for you, not in form of questions, not in form of anything, but if you are able to interpret the graphs, tables and everything, you can understand them very well. Like you have understood how to tackle the questions basically. Yeah, how to tackle the questions will be a good word. Some people call it chart also, pie chart. If you are able to do this, I'm sure that you are gonna get something crazy out of yourself, because these things will help you grow concepts, grow understanding, and grow yourself. Okay. Now, nothing much to say. Ending this class on a positive note that in this cat journey, I myself have felt overwhelmed. I myself have felt depressed. I myself have felt anxiety. And I'm also gonna give cat this year with you guys. And I'll and we all will enter the cat exam hall on the same level. That's my promise. Yeah. Thank you. Hope you all guys enjoyed. If yeah, one more thing. If anyone has any doubt or anything, you can ask on Facebook. You can ask any of the moderator, anyone, to convey a message to me. I'll be like happy to help you out in any form of manner, like deciding what to do, what not to do. If you are not feeling well, I'll help you guys out in that too. Yeah, so I'm there for you guys. Just enjoy learning and enjoy learning the concepts, not the formulas. Yeah. Okay. See ya. Bye.